as a helpful expert. I will respond to your query by drawing on the information in the provided sources. Please note that the following response is based solely on the content of the YouTube transcript excerpts you provided and does not include any outside information or personal opinions about Mr. John MacArthur. Life, as we observe it, presents a landscape of constant flux. Moments of perceived stability can give way to unforeseen turbulence with startling speed. A career setback, a fractured relationship, the sting of betrayal, or the profound ache of loss, any of these can descend upon us in an instant, altering the trajectory of our lives irrevocably. In such pivotal moments, individuals find themselves at a critical juncture, facing a fundamental choice: to succumb to the weight of adversity or to harness its potential for growth. Regrettably, many individuals allow hardship to overwhelm them. They become mired in self-pity, questioning the fairness of their circumstances and interpreting their struggles as punitive measures rather than opportunities for development. However, the narratives of those who triumph, those who exhibit resilience in the face of difficulty, reveal a different perspective. They possess an understanding that eludes many. Pain, in its essence, is not an antagonistic force, but a catalyst for learning. Reflect upon your own experiences. Have not moments of significant pain invariably brought about some form of transformation? Did they not illuminate the true nature of your relationships or unveil an inner fortitude you were previously unaware of? Did these trials not, in some instances, compel you to evolve in ways that comfort and ease would never have necessitated? Pain serves as an impetus for evolution, compelling us to explore the depths of our being and discover reserves of strength we never knew existed. A common misstep lies in the resistance many people exhibit towards pain. Instead of seeking the inherent lessons within their struggles, they engage in avoidance and complaint. Yet, pain is not an entity that dissipates simply through neglect. It persists until its lessons are acknowledged and integrated into our understanding. Consider the lives of those who have achieved remarkable feats, those who embody resilience and an indomitable spirit. Do we imagine their journeys were devoid of hardship? To the contrary, they encountered and endured suffering, but they transmuted those very experiences into a source of power. This same capacity resides within each of us, but its activation requires a fundamental shift in perspective. We must cease viewing our challenges as instruments of destruction and begin to recognize them as tools for revelation, exposing the true essence of our character. The pertinent question is not, why am I subjected to this? But rather, what is the inherent lesson this experience seeks to impart? The moment we embrace this shift in mindset, moving from resistance to receptivity, we unlock an indomitable aspect of our being. Therefore, the choice before us remains. Will we allow life's formidable battles to break us, or will we permit them to mold us into something more resilient? If you find yourself engaging with these thoughts, it suggests a readiness to embark on a deeper exploration of the most potent weapon in any struggle, the power of the mind. True strength is not solely a physical attribute. Its genesis lies within the realm of our thoughts. Endurance alone does not constitute true strength. The capacity to withstand hardship is but one facet. Genuine strength originates in the mind. It is the precursor to any external victory. Before we can conquer the challenges of life, we must first gain mastery over the internal landscape of our thoughts. Our thoughts shape our reality. The patterns of our thinking dictate our emotional states, which in turn influence our actions, ultimately determining the outcomes we experience. Many individuals are defeated before the contest even begins, not due to a lack of inherent ability, but because of self-limiting beliefs. They succumb to internal narratives of inadequacy, convincing themselves that they are too weak, too damaged, or too weary to persevere. Tragically, their minds diligently work to manifest these very beliefs. Our minds are receptive to our self-talk. Declarations of inability become self-fulfilling prophecies, while pronouncements of inadequacy are readily translated into physical and emotional limitations. Conversely, individuals of exceptional strength are not those who are immune to feelings of weakness, but rather those who consciously override such feelings with a resolute commitment to keep moving forward. It is imperative to recalibrate our minds to perceive obstacles as opportunities for growth. The internal monologue must shift from declarations of impossibility to affirmations of impossibility to affirmations of increasing strength. Instead of lamenting our inability to endure, we must remind ourselves of past adversities overcome, reinforcing the belief in our capacity to persevere. Pain. It must be understood as transient, while succumbing to weakness is a deliberate choice. Life will invariably present challenges, but our response, whether to break or to rise, remains within our control. No external force can dictate our thoughts or fight our internal battles. We either allow our minds to defeat us, or we actively train them to cultivate resilience. Pain is often perceived as an adversary, something to be avoided at all costs. However, its true nature is that of a teacher, with every struggle, heartbreak, and failure containing a valuable lesson for those willing to learn. Reflect on the moments that have profoundly shaped your life. Were they characterized by ease and comfort? More likely, they were the times that tested your limits, forcing you to adapt and grow beyond your perceived capabilities. Pain has a stripping effect, removing superficialities and revealing our true selves. It is in those moments when everything seems to be lost, when we are at our lowest ebb, that we encounter our authentic being, not the idealized version we present to the world, but the resilient core that fights, struggles, and refuses to yield. This inner strength is not nurtured in comfort, but forged in the crucible of resilience. Many individuals squander the potential inherent in their pain, choosing instead to dwell on their misfortunes and wish for their absence. In contrast, the truly strong, those who ascend above adversity, actively engage with their pain, extracting its lessons, absorbing its wisdom, and transforming it into a potent force. The stark reality is that pain will either be a destructive force or a constructive one. The choice lies entirely with the individual. Will you allow it to define you as a victim, or will you harness it as fuel for your ascent? The most formidable minds and the most indomitable spirits are not those who have evaded suffering, but those who have learned and grown through it. Embrace the lessons, confront the pain, and allow it to sculpt you into the person you were destined to become. Hardships are not designed to dismantle us, but to awaken latent potential within. Every struggle, every setback, every painful experience is not an assault on us, but an opportunity for us. The question, why me, serves only to disempower. The empowering inquiry is, how is this experience shaping me? Whether consciously recognized or not, every difficulty harbors a lesson in disguise. Consider the analogy of physical growth. Muscles strengthen through being subjected to stress and strain. Similarly, wisdom is often the byproduct of mistakes, and mental fortitude is developed by confronting and surviving seemingly insurmountable challenges. Profound transformation occurs when we reframe our perception of struggles, viewing them not as punishments but as preparations. Life is not intent on breaking us. It is engaged in a process of building us, but only if we choose to interpret our experiences through this lens. Many allow their struggles to define them negatively, clinging to narratives of brokenness, stemming from past hurts. Yet, the truth is that past pain can be a source of profound strength. Declarations of permanent damage are often premature. Adversity can be the very catalyst that propels us towards unforeseen resilience. Perspective is paramount. Two individuals may endure similar hardships, yet one may emerge bitter while the other becomes better. This divergence in outcome is rooted in mindset. One perceives the difficulty as an insurmountable barrier, while the other sees it as a gateway to personal evolution. Therefore, the fundamental question remains, will you permit the hardships of life to crush you, or will you allow them to mold you into a more formidable version of yourself? Remember that nothing of significant power or lasting value is ever created without pressure. Your struggles are not intended to destroy you. Their purpose is to reveal the inherent strength that resides within you. Personal growth is seldom, if ever, found within the confines of comfort. To resist discomfort is to actively impede your own development. Many desire strength but recoil from struggle. They yearn for success but recoil. They yearn for success but shun sacrifice. They seek resilience but avoid the very challenges. The undeniable truth is that unbreakable strength cannot be cultivated in the absence of forces that attempt to break you. Observe individuals who exhibit exceptional strength, physically, mentally, emotionally. Their resilience was not born of ease. It was cultivated through their willingness to confront adversity, to step into the fire, and to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. They understood that every moment of hardship was contributing to their transformation. Pain is transient, but weakness is the consequence of evading pain, of retreating from struggle, of refusing to confront discomfort. This avoidance is a conscious choice of weakness over strength, a choice that will ultimately shape the trajectory of one's life. Consider any significant achievement in your own life. It invariably required some degree of discomfort. The arduous process of learning a new skill, the discipline required to build healthy habits, the perseverance needed to overcome failure. Nothing of true worth comes without effort. Therefore, when life presents difficulties, the crucial decision lies in whether to retreat to the familiar comforts or to stand firm and push through. It is in that very moment, the conscious choice of discomfort over ease, that true transformation begins. The world will not bestow strength or resilience. These qualities must be earned through the active embrace of the struggles that come our way. Face them, learn from them, and allow them to forge an unyielding spirit within you. The most profound shift in perspective one can make is to cease viewing oneself as a victim and to embrace the identity of a warrior. Life, in its inherent nature, is often unfair. Setbacks, betrayals, and unexpected hardships are inevitable. To perpetually ask, "Why me?" is to remain trapped in a cycle of pain and self-pity. Victims focus on their lack of control, while warriors concentrate on the sphere of their influence. Victims seek excuses. Warriors seek solutions. Victims passively await rescue. Warriors take proactive steps to overcome their challenges. You have persevered through significant difficulties to reach this point. To allow life to break you now would negate the strength you have already demonstrated. You have endured your most challenging times and emerged intact, a testament to your inherent resilience. This inner strength will remain dormant if you continue to identify as powerless. The moment you relinquish blame and cease waiting for an easy path, you reclaim your agency. Life will never cease to present trials. Storms will arise, and hardships will persist. The defining factor is your response. Will you be overwhelmed, or will you rise to meet the challenge? A warrior does not demand favorable conditions. A warrior does not falter in the face of adversity. A warrior confronts the challenge, fights back, and refuses to surrender. Therefore, make a conscious decision today. Regardless of the circumstances, you will not allow life to defeat you. Despite perceived unfairness, you will forge a path forward. Strength is not a gift. It is earned through an unwavering refusal to yield. Life presents two distinct categories of battles: those within our control and those beyond our influence. True strength lies in discerning this difference. Many dissipate their energy in futile attempts to control the uncontrollable, dwelling on the past, fixating on the opinions of others, and trying to dictate outcomes that were never within their grasp. This misallocation of energy leads to depletion and a weakening of one's own power. In contrast, the strongest minds focus their efforts solely on what they can influence. They do not lament the storm, but adjust their sails. They do not try to change others, but focus on their own growth. The fundamental truth is that while we cannot always control external events, we retain absolute control over our response. We cannot dictate the obstacles that arise, but we can determine whether they break us or make us more resilient. Every moment spent agonizing over matters beyond our control is a moment diverted from cultivating our own strength, our effort, our attitude. These are the domains where our true power resides and where lasting strength is built. Therefore, examine where your energy is being directed. Are you clinging to past grievances, to the opinions of others, to anxieties about uncontrollable events? If so, release them and liberate yourself. The moment you cease striving to control everything is the moment you gain mastery over the only thing that truly matters: yourself. Pain is not the concluding chapter of your narrative. It is the commencement of your transformation. The most resilient individuals have not been shielded from adversity. They have actively converted their pain into a source of strength. Many allow pain to diminish them, heartbreak to embitter them, and failure to instill a fear of future attempts. Setbacks can lead to feelings of inadequacy. However, pain itself is not the destructive force. It is our reaction to it that determines its impact. The choice remains: to allow pain to dismantle you or to empower you, to let it be a justification for surrender or a catalyst for greater effort, to succumb to victimhood or to evolve into a warrior. Every significant success story shares a common thread: the presence of pain. The greatest minds, the most compassionate hearts, and the most resilient spirits have all confronted moments that could have shattered them. Yet, instead of breaking, they channeled their experiences into the creation of something greater. When life knocks you down, the critical inquiry is, how can I utilize this? How can I transmute this pain into power, this struggle into strength? The moment your mindset shifts from a focus on suffering to a strategic approach to overcoming, you reclaim control. You are not weakened by your hurts. You are empowered by your survival. Now is the time to take everything that was intended to break you and use it as a foundation for unprecedented growth. Strength is not defined by the absence of falls, but by the unwavering commitment to rise after each one. Many relinquish their efforts prematurely. They may start with enthusiasm, but the first sign of resistance leads to abandonment. Fueled by self-doubt, the only true impediment to success is the decision to quit before the breakthrough occurs. Every remarkable achievement and every admirable individual has demonstrated an unwavering refusal to stop when faced with hardship, to walk away when exhausted, or to surrender when the path seems impossible. Pain is temporary, but the consequences of quitting can be enduring. The present struggle is not designed to defeat you, but to test the depth of your resolve. Perseverance distinguishes those who achieve their goals from those who do not. It is not solely about talent or luck, but about the capacity to maintain forward momentum regardless of the difficulty. Therefore, when the urge to give up arises, remember your past resilience. You have navigated challenging times before and emerged still standing, still fighting. This is evidence of your inherent strength. Do not stop now. The breakthrough you seek may lie just beyond your current struggle. Maintain your forward trajectory, for the moment you refuse to quit is the moment you become unstoppable. Your mind is your most formidable weapon, but its effectiveness hinges on training. Weakness does not originate in the physical realm, but takes root in the mind. Before any outward surrender, the mind often capitulates first, succumbing to thoughts of impossibility. The moment these limiting beliefs are embraced, the battle is often lost. However, individuals of unyielding strength consciously train their minds to adopt a different paradigm. They actively resist the encroachment of weakness and the dominion of doubt. Instead, they engage in cognitive restructuring, reframing pain as a catalyst for growth, fear as a challenge to be overcome, and failure as a valuable part of the learning process. You become the product of what you consistently feed your mind. Persistent narratives of weakness will manifest as actual limitations, while a focus on perceived inadequacies will impede progress. Conversely, training the mind to interpret struggle as growth, setbacks as lessons, and pain as fuel will cultivate an indomitable spirit. Strength is not a bestowed attribute, but a cultivated one, beginning with conscious control over your thoughts. Therefore, take dominion over your mind, protect it from negativity, and fortify it with positive affirmations. For mastery of the mind equates to mastery over mind, equates to mastery over all other aspects of life. Motivation is a fickle companion. Discipline provides the unwavering foundation for achievement. Many wait for the opportune moment, for the surge of motivation, or for the perfect alignment of circumstances, and in doing so, they often fail to realize their full potential. Motivation is transient, but discipline is the bedrock of unshakable strength. Discipline entails consistent action, even in the absence of desire. It is about showing up despite fatigue and persevering when every fiber of your being urges you to stop. This is the defining characteristic that distinguishes the weak from the strong. Observe those who have attained the highest levels of success. Their consistent factor is not unwavering motivation, but steadfast discipline. They have trained themselves to act regardless of their emotional state. And as a result, they achieve what remains a distant aspiration for others. Your emotions will inevitably attempt to exert control, urging you towards ease and away from difficulty. However, your future is not sculpted by fleeting emotions, but by the consistent choices you make each day. Therefore, when the temptation to give up arises, remember that discipline is the bridge connecting your current reality to your desired future. Master discipline, and nothing will be insurmountable. Not pain, not doubt, not fear. Make discipline your fundamental principle, the bedrock upon which you build your life. For in the end, it is those who persevere who ultimately triumph. Fear is a deceptive voice, whispering reasons for your inadequacy, your potential for failure, and the futility of your efforts. To heed its counsel is to cede control of your life. Doubt echoes these sentiments. fostering a belief in your inherent limitations. However, fear and doubt only possess the power we grant them through our belief. Every successful individual and every resilient spirit has confronted fear. The distinction lies in their refusal to be paralyzed by it. They acknowledged fear, but pressed forward. They experienced doubt, but refused to let it define their capabilities. Fear is largely an illusion, existing primarily within the confines of our minds. The objects of our fear hold power only to the extent that we imbue them with it. The moment we cease to nurture fear and refuse to allow doubt to dictate our actions, we reclaim our power. The method for overcoming fear is direct confrontation, standing before it and refusing to yield. Avoidance amplifies fear, while direct engagement diminishes its hold. Doubt will invariably attempt to infiltrate your thoughts, and fear will try to restrain your progress. However, by pushing through, by taking steps forward despite these anxieties, you will realize a profound truth. Fear is weaker than you. It only held sway because you permitted it to do so. And the moment you decide to disregard its pronouncements, you become unstoppable. There will be times when you walk a solitary path, when your vision is not understood and your journey lacks external support. In these moments, you face a choice. Seek validation and remain weakened by dependence, or stand alone and cultivate inner strength. Many fear solitude, rejection, isolation, and the discomfort of pursuing a path others do not comprehend. Yet greatness is often forged in solitude. The most resilient minds and indomitable souls have been refined in the crucible of loneliness. It is in these solitary spaces that we encounter our true selves, unburdened by external pressures and the need for approval. If your strength is contingent on the belief of others, you will be vulnerable to their doubts and limitations. The strongest individuals do not require external validation. They do not wait for permission or support to pursue their aspirations. They move forward even when they stand alone. Therefore, examine your own capacity for self-reliance. Can you trust your own judgment when others do not? If so, there is no external force that can ultimately impede your progress. Failure is not a definitive end, but a potential beginning. Many interpret failure as evidence of their inadequacy, a signal to abandon their pursuits. However, the resilient view failure as a valuable lesson, a necessary step on the path to success. No significant achievement has been realized without encountering setbacks. Every success story is punctuated by moments of defeat, and every strong individual has faced rejection and loss. Their defining characteristic was their refusal to succumb to these setbacks. Instead, they used them as fuel for their resurgence. The only true failure lies in ceasing to try. As long as you persevere, you remain engaged in the process of growth and achievement. Learn from your mistakes, adapt your approach, and refuse to remain defeated. Therefore, embrace failure as an opportunity for learning and a catalyst for renewed effort. The individuals who ultimately succeed are not those who have never fallen, but those who have never fallen, but those who have never fallen, but those who consistently choose to rise. Everything necessary for your success already resides within you. The strength, the resilience, the inherent power. The primary obstacle is often the self-limiting belief that you are insufficient. It is time to dispel that belief. You have endured pain and emerged unbroken, a testament to your inner fortitude. If past challenges have not destroyed you, what basis is there to believe that future ones will? Limitations are often self-imposed. Fear is only potent if you yield to it. Failure is only final if you surrender. Weakness is only permanent if you refuse to fight. You have navigated life's trials and emerged stronger. Now is the moment to release hesitation and embrace your potential. The time for excuses and self-doubt is over. This is your opportunity to step into the life you were meant to live, unburdened by self-questioning and the need for external permission. Your destiny is not dictated by external forces, but by your own choices. Stand tall, move forward, and remember that the only true obstacle to your progress is yourself. Your emotions are powerful forces, capable of both construction and destruction. The strongest individuals do not suppress their emotions, but master them, preventing fear, anger, or sadness from dictating their actions. Many react to life's challenges like a ship tossed about in a storm, succumbing to panic and breakdown when difficulties arise. However, the key lies in becoming the captain of your own mind. While external circumstances may be beyond your control, your response to them is not. Anger may tempt rash decisions. Fear may induce paralysis, and sadness may lead to resignation. But emotions are merely signals. They only gain control if you allow them to. The moment you take command of your emotions, you take command of your life, moving from reaction to conscious response, maintaining stability amidst the chaos. This emotional mastery is a hallmark of an unstoppable spirit. Strength is not solely about intense effort, but also about patient perseverance. Many abandon their goals prematurely due to a lack of immediate results. They plant seeds but become discouraged when the harvest is not instantaneous. However, significant achievements require time and sustained effort. A true warrior understands the importance of patience in battle, and a champion recognizes that victory is a process, not an immediate demand. They commit to the daily effort, even when progress is imperceptible, trusting that growth is occurring beneath the surface. Your current struggles are shaping you, and your diligent efforts are building something of lasting value. The only way to truly fail is to stop prematurely. Therefore, cultivate patience and maintain your forward momentum, knowing that your time for breakthrough will arrive if you persist. Life is inherently dynamic. Change is inevitable. Plans may falter and relationships may shift, but the strongest individuals adapt rather than resist. Many fear change, clinging to the familiar even when it is no longer beneficial, remaining in limiting situations due to a fear of the unknown. However, to resist change is to impede growth. Every unexpected turn in life is an opportunity for evolution, pushing you to new levels of resilience. Therefore, when life shifts, embrace the adjustment, adapt your approach, and rise to meet the new circumstances. Survival is not solely about inherent strength, but about the ability to evolve. Life presents two forms of pain: the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Only one yields lasting value. The pain of discipline involves conscious effort, perseverance through challenges, and commitment to difficult tasks, even in the absence of external motivation. It is demanding but ultimately leads to growth and achievement. The pain of regret, however, is an enduring ache, reflecting on missed opportunities, abandoned dreams, and the life unlived due to a lack of effort. Choose your pain wisely. The pain that strengthens or the pain that haunts. Regret is a form of imprisonment, while discipline offers freedom. As you reflect on your life, what narrative will emerge? Will it be a story of cautious avoidance and unfulfilled potential, or a testament to courage, resilience, and an unwavering refusal to be defeated? Your legacy is not defined by intentions, but by actions. Therefore, make your life count. You are not destined for mediocrity, but for impact. This requires courage, a willingness to take risks, and a refusal to squander your potential. Your time is finite. Ensure that your story is one of strength and unwavering perseverance.